welcome back to Studio One, where my guest today with me is Honorable Mayor Hazel McCallion, Mayor of the city of Mississauga, the 6th largest city in this country. Mayor McCallion, talk to me. We were just talking about your vision and everything else that we discussed so far. We also mentioned that this is one of the most culturally and ethnically diverse city in this country. Very large contingent of Pakistani community here. Now, if we were to attract more people coming in, and not that we don't already, we already do, but how do we attract more people and how do we tell more people? What is the city doing, for example, to accommodate or to attract more traffic from countries like Pakistan? What will be your message to Pakistanis?
Well, immigration is a responsibility of the federal government, and we hope that they will recognize the unemployment situation that exists and bring into Canada and then into Ontario and therefore Mississauga people that have an opportunity to get a job, because a person without a job is not a happy person. Of course. And it's very important that we make sure that they do get a job in some way or other. We promote the city in a number of ways, and one thing about this city that is very special, in my opinion, there's no one group all concentrated in one area. Mm-hmm. You find that the people from all over the world is very much integrated into every community into Mississauga, and I think that's good. I think that brings peace and harmony and understanding and respect for one another, etc. I'm very proud of that, of the way in which the people have settled into the different areas. You can't say it's all Chinese over there or all Portuguese over there. It's all mixed, and I think that makes a wonderful, a very peaceful.
There's no segregation or discrimination on the basis of cultural or ethnic background.
No.
So talk to me about the employment and all that, like on the government level, for example, on the city level. If Pakistanis want to contribute and go and work for the city, where do they go to? Who do they turn to?
Well, they make an application to the city, and our policy is qualifications to do the job. No matter what country they come from, what color they are, or what religion they are. Mm-hmm. Have you got the qualifications to do the job? And so I think that's the only way we should hire people. And so we do a good job in that regard. I think we can, I think at the city, I think it's 28 or 30 some languages that can be spoken. If a Croatian came to my office that couldn't speak English, my executive assistant is Croatian. She can speak it fluently. Wow. So, and Urdu is one of the main languages, by the way, in Mississauga.
By the time you complete this term, you will be fluent in Urdu language, I'm sure.
I'd love to be.
By the way, the number of people who speak Urdu from Pakistan who are coming into the city of Mississauga.
Oh, very large group.
Exactly, exactly.
I would say that it's next to English. I think Urdu is next.
Yes, it is. It actually is. And talking again, coming back to, we touched a little bit about the contribution of the Pakistanis, and we did observe and witness some of the Pakistanis contesting even for the council members as well.
Yeah, some of them contested for mayor, which is good. You see, we have to encourage them to get involved in all aspects of the community, the service clubs, the volunteer organizations, the sports, the arts, etc. Because I think that they bring the contribution they make to whatever they get involved in is extremely important. And I find the Pakistanis very hard workers. And it's like the Chinese. I find the Pakistanis and the Chinese that if they don't work for a company, they create a company. Wow. Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs, yeah.
Entrepreneurs. And I think that is a great asset. It's the way in which our economy is going, is being built on entrepreneurs, not only in Canada, but in other parts of the world.
Yeah, internationally and globally, of course. Now, we talked about the council and the participation, and the Pakistanis also contesting for the city council, and some of them for the mayor's position as well. Yeah. Now, There are 2 new members in the council elected this year.
Yes.
So
3.
Jim Tovey, Ron Starr,
And Peter and Christina Fonseca.
Chris Fonseca,
Yeah, 3.
of course, you corrected
Peter's
me. Yeah,
wife.
Peter's wife, of course. Tell me, in these 44 years that you've been in politics, things have happened, values, practices, things changed. What kind of difference do you find in those days of politics and these days of politics, whether it's on the council level, on the city level, on municipality level?
I think the challenges today are even greater than they were years ago. It's becoming very technical. Technology is entering the field in a major way. And I think what we need at the local level is a mixture of professions and others to run for office. I think you can't have all business people, you can't have all doctors or all chartered accountants, etc. But I think it's good to have a mix, and I think it's good to have those that have been out on their own in a business that knows what it is all about to make a buck, as the saying goes, and face the challenges of that. I think it develops you and matures you to make some pretty tough decisions. Because when you look at the budget of the city of $600 million, it's a big budget. And there's a lot of services involved.
Of course. Now, talking about the budget, this was my next question. Actually, you touched upon it, and we have had a deficit-free budget for a very long time. But we are increasing our property taxes lately.
Yes. Well, we didn't increase our property taxes for about 10 years, but we ended up with major surpluses every year. And what we did, we plowed those surpluses into reserve accounts. And that's why we've been able to finance. Also, we collected development levies for residential development as well as commercial industrial for capital investment. That can't be used to reduce the tax rate.
Right.
So that has helped us. But development now is slowing down in residential, not slowing down, thank goodness, in industrial commercial. We're still building, we're still getting a lot of office
residential, there's no more land to build on anyway, right?
And we have about 3,500 acres left in the industrial commercial to be developed, which is great. It's a wonderful asset. So as you expand all the infrastructure, there's the maintenance of it. Roads don't last forever. Even sewer lines don't last forever.
Need replacement.
And so the maintenance and keeping them well repaired, because if you don't, they get in such a bad shape. Like some cities have allowed their infrastructure to get into very bad shape. Then it costs more to renovate it and bring it up to date. So therefore the capital cost now is increasing. The development is slowing down. And so I would think that 2013 or 14 we'll have to borrow money unless, and I make unless the federal and provincial government, which should be providing to the municipalities a major contribution towards infrastructure. Because our property tax, of every dollar that you pay in Canada of taxes, 92 cents goes to the federal and provincial, 8 cents only goes to the municipalities. Wow. And we provide all those services on that 8 cents, including some social costs and health. When you get your Mississauga tax bill, only 28% of that tax bill comes to us to offer you or to provide you with all the services you get. The 40-some% goes to the region, and the rest of it goes to the education, to the province. So when people get their tax bill, they think that's all goes to the city. It doesn't. Only 28%.
Well, so this would actually be a message for all the people who are listening to us today, talking about the tax rate and everything, taxes going up. So it's not actually going into all of it going into the city's pocket, and whatever is going is needed and required for the infrastructure replacement.
And there's a lot of you see, we don't, of the budget that we have for the city, much of it is uncontrollable. For instance, it's mandated by the city.
Of course.
The OMERS increased the pension plan, and that was a 9% increase in it. That paid by the employer and the employee. That's on your tax bill.
Okay, Mayor McCallion, it's been great having you today with us. Great conversation. Thank you very much for being here. Now, before we wrap up this show tonight, I want you to, through the lens of this camera, give my audience and listeners who are Pakistani community and living primarily in Mississauga and the GTA, give them a message. What would you like to tell them?
I would like to say thank you. Thank you to all the Pakistanis that have chosen Mississauga as their home. I think of some that have been here for 30 to 40 years, that have come here, taken advantage of the many opportunities, have been very successful, and applied their success back into the community. They become involved in many, many ways, in the hospitals, etc. And they are very proud Canadians of Pakistani background. And so I welcome and I appreciate and love all the Pakistanis that have come to Mississauga and have made our city. They have made their contribution to making our city one of the best cities in Canada.
Mayor McCallion, I thank you very much on behalf of TV1 Canada and on behalf of the Studio One. And thank you very much for watching Studio One. My guest today was the Honorable Mayor Hazel McCallion, Mayor of Mississauga. Please write to us, info@tv1canada.com. Let us know how you liked the show tonight. Thank you. Continue watching TV1.